the sky and covering a neighborhood near Charleston and Hollywood. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Dave Crevassier.
And I'm Trisha Keene. Well, people living in the area say they have no idea where the drops are coming from. 13 Action News reporter Sean Delancey spent the day trying to get answers. Sean.
People here in the eastern part of the valley are completely perplexed over these brown, black, almost oily-looking droplets that are falling from the sky. They're everywhere. They're over all of these cars. They're over an RV in the back of the lot. They're all over this basketball court. The big question is, what are they, and why are they falling from the sky?
Helicopters through here.
Marcos Cervantes is at war with, well, something.
See on the floor?
Something that's been falling from somewhere.
It could also be grease, oil, I don't know.
Here, there, everywhere. Thousands of little black and brown droplets have rained on Cervantes' property consistently, he says, for the last 3 to 4 weeks.
It's very hard for me to maintain my vehicles. It's very, very difficult to be outside of my yard knowing that you can't even cook a barbecue or anything like that and you get droppings on your food.
Neighbors all refused an on-camera interview, but each and every one...
On your food.
Neighbors all refused an on-camera interview, but each and every one said they've experienced the same thing with no explanation. Cervantes questioned whether the droplets could have come from planes.
So they would come straight this way and swing that way.
Out over the mountain range?
Correct.
But he says contacting the FAA has yielded no answers. Cervantes worries that the substance could be toxic or harmful and wants answers.
I would like somebody to take action and help me determine what this is and obviously figure out a solution.
We've reached out to the FAA, the Nevada Department of Conservation, and the State Division of Environmental Protection to get an explanation for this, and as of right now, we haven't heard back. Sean Delancey, 13 Action.
Man, can't even barbecue in peace out there no more. That's messed up. Man trying to cook some chicken and then he got some black stuff dropping out of the sky. So again, they're like, no explanation at all. We have no explanation. Well, I'm about to go into some explanations that somebody did some sampling on some black substance that was in the rain. And we're going to go into this here because we got the video clip, but also before we do that, it's not just about the man trying to get his hot chicken ready on the barbecue grill. And we're about to go into the deeper data about what they're actually saying. They liquefied, and what we find in the atmosphere, basically, we're going to go into what they are basically potentially doing that I have to get out. So, again, first of all, this happened not just in Las Vegas. This happened in Michigan. Here's some of the pictures from Michigan. The same exact thing. No explanation at all. Well, we just don't know, brother. We don't know, sister. It's just dropping out of the air. And we just don't get it. You know, that's all they can tell you. You know, they want you to sip that Kool-Aid and just go back to sleep. Where else did it happen? Obviously, it happened in places in Japan right after a lightning storm had hit. It also happened in areas like Brazil. So it's actually happened in a lot of areas across the world. And to me, there's something deeper behind this if they're not telling you about it, okay? So first off, let's get into this video clip. Or we may not even play the clip. We might just show the slide. Graphene nanosheets found in rainwater was a video done a while ago, and it talked about the graphene and the you know what. You're not gonna say obviously it starts with a V, ends with you know what. And you go down in this slide here, and this is a doctor report where it says Friday Night Radio from Chilean Radio gave a scoop on new finding of graphene nanosheets in rainwater. The sample was taken hours after chemtrail phenomenon. So obviously it's not just chemtrail. There's more than that in the sky. Just as the nanomaterials can be found in aqueous solutions and many other industrial equipment and medical stuff, all types of stuff, dude. So let's go down here. They took some samplings here and they show you here a little bit of some of the situation. So these are the samplings, and guess what? I'll have this video clip below. And they talk about, well, this makes sense why most people are, magnetic, and they don't even have to take, they don't even have to, but they're already magnetic. But again, if we're getting these samplings from rainwater collection, and I'll leave more of it, it says, I'm going to stop for a moment because you can see graphene has particularly, and that it is a Kleenex-like appearance. So basically that's where the graphene it formulates, and it turns to a nano sheet. Okay, so this is what we got going on. This was collected even last year in the rainwater. As usual, everyone who works with the nanomaterial describes it that way, as if we were a Kleenex. It's as if, good Lord, you were a Kleenex directly thrown to the bottom of a swimming pool. So it has folded in. Here's what you're seeing that folds, and they have peculiarly, and that is the edges that tend to fold onto themselves. That's what the graphene is doing here. There's a layer on top. So again, and right there, you can see that layer on top he's talking about, and then the other side over there, you can see that as well. And you can see the little small circular driplets, which is actually rainwater itself. So that was a sampling that they found. Now, however, I want to go into something else that talks about what are they actually doing for the agenda. This came out February 15, 2022. Wrapping droplets in graphene for printed microchips and wearable sensors. How liquid electronics is being advanced. So we're talking about an elaborate agenda where you got raindrops dropping, but it's probably not raindrops. And they're literally priming it for microchips in raindrops and in wearable sensors, all this crazy stuff. It says new research from physicists at the University of Sussex will significantly advance the new technology area of liquid electronics, okay? We're not talking, oh, we got some little nano things in the sky and everything else. This is liquid. And it says enhancing the functionality and sustainability of potential applications in printed electronics, wearable health monitors, okay? So you know what this leads down to. And it goes in to say, significantly advance the new technology area of liquid electronics, enhancing the functionality and sustainability of potential applications. And this is for, it can hit you at any given moment, right? In their research paper published in ACS Nano, the Sussex scientists have built on their previous work to wrap emulsion droplets with graphene and other 2D materials by reducing the coatings down to atomically thin nanosheet layers, exactly what they seen in the slide. He says, in doing so, they were able to create electrically conductive liquid emulsions, how do you say that are the lowest loading graphene networks ever reported, just at 0.001 volt. So it says this means that subsequent liquid electronic technology, whether that might be strain sensors to monitor physical performance and health electronic devices printed from emulsion droplets, and even potentially more efficient and longer lasting electric vehicle batteries, will both be cheaper and more sustainable because they will require less graphene or other 2D nanosheets coating the droplets. So this is what they're doing, people. And it goes in and says the bottle right here is showing what they have in there. So this is crazy. And since they won't give you a detailed report about, okay, what is this stuff? Everybody on the news is just saying, oh, we don't know. We don't know now. It's just, hey, we don't know. And they just study telling you that. Like, obviously, something is elaborate going on. Now, it was a show that has some predictive programming about a rain virus, but I don't think this is a rain virus. It looks like it's more maybe a rain, sensor technology, Internet of Things type of deal. And so they have predictive programming about rain viruses, but it's actually the opposite. And this guy right here, actually, they showed this black-looking stuff around his face. If I can find the image, you can see it right there, giving you the information. And if you've seen black rain in your area, you should be very much trying to get samples of that, just like the other people did. And I'll leave a link below to that because it's important that we know all these crazy things. And subscribe to JWTV. We'll get more information out to you, because this is highly detailed, important report. So while we're focused on a lot of events, they're focused on how they can manipulate us more. So, obviously, it's ways around a lot of stuff, but here's the big deal right now. If they're not telling us about this and it just hits in random places at random times, they've probably been beta testing some operations on us. And the other mysterious thing was that they, in Michigan, they were saying that it was an Air Force base close by, and then the other ones in Las Vegas said they seen, it looked like one of the Air Force planes that comes in, one of the little UFO style ones or whatever, the newer ones, and they could have been dropping it. I'm not saying they were, but who's dropping it? Where is it coming from? And why is it dropping specifically? And we don't have any nuclear radiation type of scenarios around us at all. So how it all begins Today, I'm pretty sure you're well aware of it, so we're not gonna like drag it all out. We're just gonna get into the very hefty low parts that probably people wasn't talking about.
It's unbelievable. It's like 18,000 and it's actually thrown a fucking meter in. Yeah. 16, 19. I've never seen it that high in my life. I've ever seen it that high in my fucking life. That is getting fucking fried. That is getting microwaved. It's dropped out on peak. Yeah. 20,000. Yeah. So what's that? 20 times the legal amount of EMF reading. Yeah. It's more than I've ever seen in my life. Ever. I've never seen more than that.
Quite a lot of us have been burned here over the weekend, and I do have sunburn too.
Yep.
But the first day I had a hat and sunscreen on, and my lips just broke out, and these feel more like chemical burn.
Yep.
And these lips, some of the it's not affecting everyone the same. Obviously, all our bodies are different.
Yep.
So there were people in a first aid tent that were holding their ground because they had sick people there. We've got the blue shirt police that were fairly friendly.
Yeah.
Under the circumstances, and then you've got these other black ones. Our country's in distress. The fucking show is not as important as our parliament being taken over by foreign corporate entities. And these people are protecting the show instead of us. So I don't know what happened to that woman. These evil men in black got her. She was on her knees peacefully, and they're just yelling and screaming at her. They've got the dog going. I don't know if the dog got hurt, but one woman, I could have taken her down on my own. Not fucking 10 guys, I don't know, like 6 guys on this woman and a fucking dog threatening her as well. It's just too much for our Australian people, and we're all cooked. We're literally fried. I don't think I'd ever want to talk on a camera looking like this. People need to see this. Some of the old people, we've tell everyone that you can just take a photo, so we've got that evidence of like this is something not natural. We don't know if they're using weapons against their own people, is what it seems like. And just watching that, it's something to watch it on TV, but to see it.
To actually experience something like that.
Not protesters, the Australian people who have come to petition their government for help because they're under stress from corporations with thugs, from medical mafia with do against love. They only know how to work against hatred and violence, and all we bring is love, and they don't know what to do. And we're going to keep bringing that love back.
What? Double-backed booster flu shot. And I'm going to be honest, I have a shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes! Jesus loves me the most. Seriously.
You know what people aren't covering? They're talking about, oh, vaccine. She talked about vaccine. No. I've seen this happen many times on stage where comedians mock Christ and then fucking die right afterwards. There was a guy, and I think it was in Brazil or something. It could have been Cuba or Hades or something. I don't remember where, but the guy was talking. No, it was the Middle East. That's what it was. It was the Middle East. And he was talking about how he was the Messiah and how he was God, and literally died right there in the chair. This woman talks about Christ, and then...
So nice. I don't think I'm going to get the 4th booster, though. I will say that.